for higher education and to be a boss babe, to chase their career, but they really don't want to be a traditional wife, meaning that the laws are traditional for traditional men and women, but these women aren't traditional, they're modern.
The laws have changed since they were written. They were written that way, in a way that favored the mother in divorce, especially with children. They changed them in, I want to say, the 90s.
Bro, yeah, like no fault divorce. Like before, if you wanted to divorce your husband, you had to give some type of proof, some type of reason for divorce. It had to be like a reason for the divorce. Now there's no fault divorce. You divorce the man for any reason you want.
Or he can divorce
that's
her.
that's something that changed.
Yeah, and that freed up both people in that situation to file.
Not really. By and large, men will stay in bad marriages in order to keep their family together, pass their legacy on to their children. I think the number is something like 75% of divorces are filed by women, and the most popular reason, something like 80% of them, is for irreconcilable differences. Now, what the woman will tell you is irreconcilable differences is easier to get a divorce over, but he cheated on me, or he was mean to me, or he was controlling. But she can't prove that.
Why
so it's left to her subjectivity. But no, it's not. No fault divorce. No fault divorce. Can I finish? No fault divorce is soundly to benefit women, and it was put in place in 1969 by Ronald Reagan when he was a Democrat out in California in order to get the female divorce, so they could just wake up one morning with their hormones wound up and say, "I just don't feel fulfilled. I'm just not happy. He doesn't appreciate me." And she could leave, take the children, and at least half of his resources.
God dang,
okay, why do you think that that's the case? Like, why do you think?
I just told you that.
Why does Ronald Reagan give a fuck if the women get to leave easier?
I just told you that. Let me try it again. Maybe I was talking too fast. Okay. The 19th Amendment. The 19th Amendment was passed in order to get women to vote. And women, because they're emotional beings, they're going to vote emotionally. So politicians can show them a hungry child, and women will vote and let the politicians just rifle through and loot the national treasury. So politicians passed the 19th Amendment. It wasn't majority women voting for it. It was corporations and it was politicians, and they passed the 19th Amendment. That allowed women to be able to vote against their husbands. And so they show up and they say, "Hey, women, if you'll vote for us and elect us, then we'll give you power over your husbands." And part of that is the no fault divorce. Look, you're tired of getting stuck in that marriage with that man that just don't appreciate you. You can leave him. And we'll have the laws in family court to where it will favor you to take his children and at least half of his resources. It was in order for the politicians to get the votes of the women.
Okay, so they sold no fault divorce in order to get women's votes, is what you're saying. So you think that men are better off living with women that don't want to live with them?
Real quick, before you answer that, whoever this person is, this XE guy, come on up. Come on up and join the stream, because I see you in the chat and you like spamming the chat saying a bunch of nonsensical stuff about Dane as well. So it seems like you want to debate Dane. So come on up and bring you on up and you can debate, man. But go ahead. Ask the question again so Dane can answer.
So the reason that no fault, that people choose irreconcilable differences, is because since you don't have to prove fault, why would anybody set themselves up for a higher standard of proof when you can just do the easy answer and get it shuttled through?
That's not an argument. That's a question.
Okay, let me rephrase it.
Okay.
That's why people do that.
How do you know that? That's an assertion. That's still not an argument. You just make claims.
I can tell you from firsthand experience.
That's anecdotal experience.
Because it's anecdotal and it's logical as well. Because when you file for divorce, you're typically. Can I finish
you
now?
Just got finished.
Can I finish now?
Go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
Because lawyers cost a lot of money, and there is a good reason for anybody getting divorced not to want to have extra billable hours. They're not going to make it harder and more expensive for themselves.
How do you know that? You just pulled it out of your ass? You just made it up?
Especially when they're motivated. Especially when they're motivated by the biased court system to like, I'm gonna do right, like especially when they're motivated to seek for more, right? It's geared towards biased. The women.
No, it's not. You cannot. I challenge any of you to find me any law in the U.S. courts that favor men over women. It's absolutely neutral. It constitutionally has to be, and
you're making the assertion. You're making the assertion. It's up to you to defend your assertion. You're claiming they're neutral. Defend it.
From what?
You're making a claim.
Yes.
So it falls to you to support and defend your claim.
But you haven't attacked the claim. You've just told me to defend it.
That's an attack, man. I don't know what kind of language you use. If I'm asking you to defend something, then I'm attacking. Okay, here's the attack. That's not true. Defend it.
All right. You want me to pull up some law? You want me to pull up divorce law? How do you want to do this?
I don't know. You pulled everything out of your ass. Maybe you can pull the defense out of your ass.
You're getting so stupid. You act like you have no idea what's going on. Have you ever been divorced?
It doesn't matter. I've never been raped, but I know about rape. I don't have to pull that out of my ass to know what that is.
You're about to know about it.
I've never been in slavery, but I know a lot about it.
So you don't actually know what you're talking. I've been divorced. You haven't.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you've been divorced. I've never been in prison, but I know a lot about what prison's about. What does that mean? That's one of those feminine claims, man. Oh, as a mother, as a wife, you know.
Yeah, that's an argument from authority. Doesn't work.
Okay. So, are you aware of the protected classes that you cannot discriminate against in this country?
Yes, I am. What does that have to do with the argument?
Is one of them sex and gender?
Sex, yes.
Yes. Okay. So, would it be illegal and unconstitutional for the courts to favor one sex over the other?
That's another question. I'm looking for an argument. You're asking me to answer your questions for an argument.
It's a rhetorical question. You know how those work, right?
Do I know what? I'm sorry you cut out, or I did one.
Do you understand how rhetorical questions work? It was a rhetorical question. Okay.
I do.
Then why are you claiming it's not a statement?
Because I'm holding out hope and prayer that you'll give an argument. It's not up to me to make your argument.
Dusty, you haven't made any argument. You're asking a question.
Okay. It is illegal for the courts to favor one sex over the other.
It's not. That's not what protected classes are about.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What do you think they're about?
It's about discrimination based on that in public access. Equal protection under the law does not prevent laws from favoring women in family court. Because
Dusty, do you know about selective service? There's laws that like, what are you talking about, man? Like,
okay, let's go with your claim to authority on being divorced, in custody battle twice. Let's go with that. When you went to your divorce court and to your custody trial, did you have to show evidence in front of a jury? Did you have to prove the facts, or was the case settled on a preponderance of evidence instead of like a judicial finding of proof? Which was it?
It's contract court. It's contract court. It's
not. I know. You're not answering my question. I didn't ask you what kind of court it is.
Evidence.
It's not what?
Civil court. They don't preponder evidence. It's civil court. The court looks at the situation and then makes decisions on how to basically liquidate the marriage.
Okay. How do they make those decisions, though? Is it on proof? Objective? You're the one who tried to lampoon the Bible earlier with objective and subjective. Is it objective proof that you had to go to court to prove to get custody of your children or to get your assets in divorce? Or did you just have to go in there and the court, which ended up usually being one judge, looks over the evidence and he comes up through a preponderance and says, well, I think the children would be better off with this parent? Or did that parent have to prove they were better off?
Nope. He looks at the information and the
evidence. Isn't that a word for evidence?
And the request.
Now you're playing those female word games where you're tripping it back and forth. No, he just looks.
Matter, dog. I don't know what to tell you if you don't know what words mean.
He looks at the information. That's freaking evidence, man. Stop playing games. Did you have to prove? Please answer my question, Dusty. Did you have to prove that you were the better parent, or did the judge just look at it and make his best guess?
No, I did not have to prove it.
Okay.
So then why did you have to bring information?
Well, he didn't make his decision by pulling a name out of a hat.
How did he make it?
Information.
Preponderance of the information, right? Let's use your word.
And primarily, the most important thing is first to file. And he looked at the filings of each of us and what requests were on the plate.
But I thought like who's filing for? It was illegal to favor one sex over the other.
I agree with Dusty because this is
nobody asked you yet, man. Hang on a minute. Grown folks talking. Ain't nobody asked you yet. Don't come in here trying to say you, Dusty. Don't come in trying to say you.
Yeah, wait your turn.
Wait your turn, man. We gonna get to you next, man. We got you next.
Hey, man, look. When you went in there, if it was based on equal protection under the law, well, then the decision for your custody would have been made based on the evidence, the proof. Not a judge looking and deciding essentially which parent he liked the best.
No, here's how it works. If I file a request from the courts and you don't respond, then I get that.
I didn't say nothing about you not responding. That's in any kind of a civil case. We're talking about how did they decide? Right. How did they decide?
That's why I pointed out that it was civil court and not criminal.
It was not. I granted that to begin with, man. You're coming out. You're moving the goalpost. What I'm telling you, you claimed that this family court is not set up to favor the women because of equal protection under the law. And what I'm telling you is that does not apply in family court because those family court judges are not bound by proof like they are in a criminal court. Those judges have wide latitude. And do you know who they usually favor? The mother.
The mother.
This is a doctrine that goes way back to English common law.
No, it's not a doctrine that goes way back to it's a trend that goes back because mothers are typically the primary caregivers and fathers are typically the primary breadwinners. The fact of the matter is fathers typically don't push for sole custody.
But hold on, are you saying that they usually look at the mother as the better parent because she's the primary caregiver? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that most men, if they get divorced and let's say they got 2-3 kids, they're not in a position they don't go for sole custody. They go for split custody.
You just said
to go for sole custody.
Correct me if I'm wrong. You just said that the courts usually look at the mother as the better parent because she's the primary caregiver and the father's the primary breadwinner and will have to deal with things like daycare and childcare. So they look at that mother as the better custodial parent.
What I said is the two parents request different things. The mother is more likely to request sole custody, and the father is more likely to request split custody.
I'm asking you what the judge typically decides and why.
The judge is going to award requests. So if I get
don't think he awards Skittles and rainbows. I understand he rewards request. Which request do you think he's going to favor?
The man doesn't have a chance of getting custody if he doesn't request it. And
I'm not asking you that. I know how it works. I've never been through a custody battle because I raised all 5 of my kids. I've never been divorced because I kept my wife around and I just made it freaking work for damn near 40 years. But that doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm talking about like you tried to imply a minute ago. I know all of this. If the man doesn't request something, of course. If I didn't request something, I wouldn't have my 5 kids. Hello, I understand that, man. When the rain falls, stuff gets wet. We don't need to debate this out. I'm asking you, when the requests are made and the judge looks at the evidence, who does he typically favor?
Well, I don't know. I don't think we have stats.
Bro, just admit it and say women.
Dude, you just say it's
just admit it. Listen, I don't like going through this no more, bro. Stop being gay and just admit it when you know you need to admit it.
Admit it?
You basically already admitted that you just don't want to say women.
Dusty. Okay, Dusty. In your personal experience, and you don't have to answer this because this is a personal question, but in your personal experience, did it work out in your custody battle? Did you win the custody?
I won the divorce and both custody battles. Yes, I filed first. I was the filer.
Well, then do you realize that you're the exception to the rule and not the rule itself?
I know, but the reason...
Okay, then, debate over.
So if you know that...
No. Let me respond to this.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason that I'm the exception is because most men don't file first. If they did, I would not be the exception. Now, why do men not file first? I don't know. There's any number of reasons, but probably one of them is because dumb fucks like you give them bad information.
Who's the dumb fuck? Am I the dumb fuck? Who's the dumb fuck?
Which one of us fucks are dumb?
Yeah, which one of us fucks are dumb?
Who? I couldn't hear you over Tyga.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're one. Yeah. You
I'm the dumb. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Dusty, let me ask you a question. Dusty,
person on the panel, Dusty.
I didn't miss out on being a fuck.
Dusty, let me ask you a question.
Fat fuck, whatever I am. I'm just glad I'm fucking.
Dusty, if it's the case that men filed just as much as women filed for custody, what do you think the outcomes would be?
I think actually it would favor the men because men tend to, when men file, they tend to file while they have control of more resources than the woman because men tend to have more control of that. So I think that actually you'd see men winning more than women.
Let me ask you this question. If the man filed for custody and it was during the years where the baby was in its primary developmental stages and let's say 1 to 2 years old, who do you think would be favored?
The parent that filed first. I do not.
You don't think that the mother would be favored?
No, my daughter was 2 when I filed, and I got custody of her.
That's fair enough. You could be the exception, but what I'm saying here, from a biological perspective, right? Mm-hmm. You don't think that the courts would favor the mother because the child is at its adolescent years and the mother would be, preferably breastfeeding and things like of that sort. You don't think that the courts would view it that in favor the mother over the father?
I think that if the child is still breastfeeding, then that would be taken into account, right? That would probably favor the mother.
Well, let's put you in the seat of the judge. Why don't you put yourself in the seat of the judge?
Do you think that because I actually went through this. I wasn't speaking, but I went through it. And I'm actually one of the exceptions. I'm one of the exceptions, right? But a lot of things, the judge takes many things into an account. They take into consideration of, the age of the child, and during that age, which parent would have the best, which parent would produce the best outcomes for the child, right?
The best interest of the child.
Best interest for the child. So they look at many things like, where you live, do you have like family around? Is your mother living with you? Like, is the child going to have their grandmother or their aunties and their uncles around? So they take into consideration of other family members where you live. They take in consideration of where you live, where exactly you live, and how you live, the place that you're living in. So there's many things that go into it. But also, I tend to got lucky. My judge was base. He was a man. And not only he was a Republican, like, you know what I mean?
What P. Dusty over here is saying is true in the sense that filing first does give you an advantage.
It does.
But that is not the strongest thing. The strongest thing is the courts is going to look at what the judge believes is in the best interest of the child. Look, if a crackhead, meth head, pimp files first, he's got less of a chance of getting his children when the courts look at it and find out what's up. So your claim that whoever files first, that's the biggest decision. That is not the biggest decision. That's an advantage.
That's the biggest, I guess, bias. That's the wrong word, but the biggest advantage that you can give yourself is to file first.
But what I asked you is, how does the judge make the decision? It's not on who filed first.
Right.
It's not on who files first.
Preponderance of the evidence to decipher what's in the best interest of the child. Right. Here's what happens. When that father's been going to work, being a good man, a good husband, a good father, supporting his family, taking care of his business, not being a bum, and that mother is going to the doctor's visits and the teachers' conferences and stuff. She gets in court, and then her lawyer is going to ask that dad, what's your child's pediatrician's name? I don't know, because he's been at work the whole time. So then the court looks and says, oh, the child's better off with mommy. This is one reason I stayed married for 40 years, and I don't care how crazy my 4'11" woman is. Because I had 5 kids, and I didn't want to have to share them 5 kids or whatever boyfriend or stepdaddy happened to come running along, because I knew when I got there, I was at a disadvantage.
But she could have left you because you live in a no-fault divorce.
Oh, she couldn't have left me. She couldn't have left me, because if she had left me, I'd have packed my bags and left with her ass, because my kids was going with her.
I'm sure she can run faster than you. I'm sure she can run faster than you.
Nope, she's 4'11". Right, I'm 6'3".
Let's get this guy's take. So, what's your name? A name, and what do you want to ask a question about?
No, I'm just here for the drama.
What's your name?
My name is David.
Your name is David? Oh, okay. How do we pronounce the Exy thing? Exo blah blah whatever.
Xibalba is like the underworld for me.
Wait, what is it?
Xibalba.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yeah, let's
David.
just say David. Yeah.
Yeah, David. So you were in the comments, David. You were in the comments and you were talking crap on Dane, maybe even myself. I don't know, but a lot of people told me.
One comment and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so what do you want to engage in this debate about? What do you want to say?
Well, you guys switched the debate from one thing to another, so
it's okay. What questions do you have?
They did it on me too, David. I came in for the Bible debate, and then they switched on me when I got here. So
yeah,
I don't
we switched it up. It's okay.
Informal. Yeah.
It's informal, man. What question?
So let's start probably a new conversation and move on, because it seems that we all agree on the last one.
It does.
Well, no, Dusty doesn't.
I don't think we don't all agree on. Yeah.
But anyways, what question do you have? What topic do you want to start up? What's on your mind?
Socialism. Sure, let's go that route.
Okay, so socialism, what? You believe in that socialism is a net positive for society and we should be a socialist country?
Not at all. Does anyone does here? No, I don't think so, actually.
No, I think socialism.
You guys are pretty right wing. I mean, I'm right wing, so.
Yeah, man, socialism is pretty gay. But all right, man, let's refresh this panel. See if I think we got some other people backstage. So let's refresh. See if we get some other people in here. But Dane, complete obliteration. Good job, Dusty. I wish you got any other topics, Dusty? Because I know you said that you do disagree with me on many things, but.
Yeah, I guess one last thing that I do want to ask is anybody besides the two of us on the panel been divorced? Any of you four been divorced? So you're saying 100% of the men on this panel has had good experiences in court, and you all think that courts are biased against men?
What do you mean 100% of men on this panel have had good experiences in court? That right there would be what you call a non sequitur. The fact that these other four men haven't been divorced doesn't mean we've had good experiences in court.
You said you got lucky.
What do you mean I got lucky?
Not you, Cooley said he got lucky.
No, I was just going through a custody battle. So that's different. But I would say, yeah, man, I got lucky. And not only that, I had my life together and everything prepared. You know what I mean? So, my daughter wasn't 2 years old or 1, so that helped out. But yeah, man. But anyways, any other topics you want to discuss?
Sorry, can I ask you a question?
Sure, go ahead.
How did it go godly?
Scott, man, what you got a topic that you want to how did it go badly? What country are you from?
Well, I'm from Cambodia, but how did it go bad?
Yeah, man, that's not a question for the panel to debate. It's debate night, man. So let's refresh. I'm gonna go ahead and refresh since you guys really don't got nothing. Dusty, you sure you don't have nothing?
I don't have anything off the top of my head. I'm willing to stick around in case the refresh does bring up something, but if not,
we'll do.
You got people waiting.
No. I got no one that's waiting, but we could do a quick refresh.
Dusty, real quick, Dusty, yes, if I can, real quick, cool. Dusty, saw you argue with Andrew a while back about the whole Sarah thing, man. I enjoyed arguing with you, man. It was a challenge.
You as well.
Fair. All right, let's do a quick refresh. All right, ladies and gents, we're going to do a quick refresh. Been streaming for 3 hours. Pretty good debates. Dane came in here cooking as usual.